At the biggest boards across the GTA, the new normal for high school students will be a 50-50 split of classes behind a screen like this and in-person classes. But York Region parents say their teens won't be getting close to the 50% of in-school class time promised by the province. Shamila Shakil started a Facebook group for parents to share their concerns with the reopening plan. A common theme, frustration with the public board's high school schedule.
We all feel that our kids are going to be at a disadvantage, especially kids who are in grade 11 and grade 12 who are preparing for college and university.
Students will be at school in the morning every other day and spend the afternoons and alternating days learning online. That'll also happen in Toronto, but public students will learn 2 courses at a time and get almost 4 hours face-to-face with a teacher, with a shorter 75-minute period in the afternoon. York students will take the usual 4 courses and spend 2.5 hours in school over 2 days, or just 25% of the time.
For those of us who have chosen the in-person model, we chose that based on the fact that we wanted our kids to have at least 50% of in-class time.
The hybrid model is also raising some issues for teachers, who will be expected to teach both in person for attending cohorts, as well as behind a computer screen for the other cohort at home.
The amount of focus that's required for that period of time, I wonder what retention students are actually going to have of the material that they're getting.
Behan Farhadi has taught online high school courses in the Toronto District School Board since 2010. She says not much is known about successful e-learning as we currently are experiencing it.
It is effectively a mass experiment. We've had across the board maybe 5% of students engaged in online learning.
It's unfortunate. For the vast majority of students, it's a second best solution.
The union representing Ontario's high school teachers blames the province for not providing enough funding to ensure a safe return to class.
They decided that this would be a plan done on the cheap, and that has certain repercussions. And one of them will be that as hard as my members will try, the quality of the education they deliver will not be as good, at least for certain students, as it would be if you actually had them 100% of their learning time in a class.
Online learning, just not the same as being in a physical classroom, says Shakil.
They just need more in-person time. They don't need to be going home and doing most of their learning in front of a screen.
The YRDSB says its model limits the number of contacts students have with one another, while the province says it's pushed boards to increase in-class learning time and says the unions needed to be more flexible. For City News, I'm Caryn Ceolin.